Inside the Silicon Mechanics Miranda CDI Cluster, a design that provides cloud-like flexibility with bare metal performance. Our clients need to get to results as fast as possible. That's why Silicon Mechanics created a series of reference architectures for specific types of workloads. Each one is the result of hours of engineering, testing, and optimization. That's because we want to save clients time and focus on customizing the design for your specific workload and organizational needs, not redoing the basic elements with each new engagement. Silicon Mechanics' Miranda CDI Cluster is a reference architecture designed to support users who need more flexibility and scalability that traditional HPC and AI designs allow, while not limiting anyone to the performance limitations of the cloud. The Miranda CDI Cluster is a whole new way to approach data center design. Let me show you how. The Miranda CDI Cluster leverages composable disaggregated infrastructure, CDI for short, which leverages PCIe-based low-latency interconnects and special management software to enable dynamically provisioned systems. This lets system administrators pool resources like CPUs, accelerators, GPUs, FPGAs, ASICs, memory, or storage without physical reconfiguration. Similarly, resources can be expanded, reduced, or refreshed on the fly. The Miranda CDI cluster was designed in a modular format, so our engineering team can easily customize the reference architecture for specific client needs. Modular design also means the Miranda CDI cluster is prepared from the start to scale. Some use cases and industries are especially challenging to design for quickly. That's one of the great things about the Miranda CDI cluster. Its dynamic provisioning capabilities mean that when it has enough resources, it can support nearly any workload a specialized cluster can. By creating the base necessary to support these scenarios, Silicon Mechanics can reduce the time it takes to configure client systems based on the Miranda CDI cluster design, and even less time for your team to reconfigure them. Let's look at the base components the cluster is built on, starting with the compute nodes. It includes blade servers with 3rd Gen AMD EPYC CPUs and NVIDIA GPUs, NVIDIA 200G HDR InfiniBand switches and up to 2 hot pluggable 10G NVIDIA Spectrum SN4000 Open Ethernet switches, Liquid Grid 48-port Gen 4 Fabric switch or GigaIO FabRex TOR switch. But the really exciting thing about the Miranda CDI cluster is that it's just a starting point. With the CDI Fabric switches and software layer in place, the Silicon Mechanics engineering team can customize a system based on the Miranda CDI cluster design to include whatever resource components your team needs to succeed. The Miranda CDI cluster also features the Silicon Mechanics AI stack, the Silicon Mechanics' scientific computing stack, and support for popular frameworks such as those shown on the screen, all of which have been pre-tested to ensure you can get to time to result even faster. That focus on saving you time is also why Silicon Mechanics sends clusters with full rack and stack setup and integration to a zero defect standard. But if you ever need additional help, we can do remote or live training or support you in other ways as well. Learn more about the power of CDI at siliconmechanics.com/Miranda, or to speak with an engineer, call us today.